The topic that we are now going to discuss is harvesting. Okay, the harvesting is one of the most important part of the crop production and management. The farmers sow their plants and seeds, and this takes 3 to 4 months to mature. And normally a plant takes 3 to 4 months to get matured. The lush green paddy fields and the wheat fields turn into golden or golden yellow in color, and that is the time to harvest. So it is the most delightful picture or a scene for a farmer to see their crops becoming golden yellow in color, because this is the time they do their harvesting, and for this reason only they have done all their hard works, and it is the time they harvest their crops. The harvesting, traditionally the harvesting is done by a tool that is called a sickle. This is the picture of a sickle. The sickle looks like this, where it has a wooden handle. This particular part is made up of wood, and this is made up of iron. Okay. Now, the cutting and gathering of the matured crop is known as harvesting. Okay. Now, this is a traditional tool that is used to cut the crops or the matured crops. Normally, how do they cut? A plant is there, so they would cut at near to the ground. Normally, it won't be cut at the top. Traditionally and normally, we can say, and to the farmer's benefit, they cut the crop near to the ground. This is the way to cut the crops. In modern days, there are some machines which are used. These machines are known as harvesters. These machines are used to cut the crops. These are the mechanical machines which are used to cut the crops. Now, after the cutting process is done, the next process or the harvesting process is done, the next process that the farmers do is the threshing. What does the threshing do? Threshing helps the stalks of the paddy plant to come out of their main stem. So this is the process. How do they do that? They either thresh it, they either beat the plant of paddy or any particular grain for that matter. They beat it, and by beating, these come out of the main stem. Sometimes it is also seen, and it is very common picture in village areas. Many of you have seen also that after the harvesting is done, the crops are brought to home, and after that the crops are spread, or the grains are spread on the courtyard. On the courtyard, the grains are spread, and you will find that bullocks or buffaloes, they are made to go on a circular motion. They walk on these grains. So why do they do that? In order to remove a covering or outer covering of the grain that is known as known as chaff. Now this chaff also is used as an animal fodder. When the threshing is done, the pieces of the stem, the leaves of the plant, as well as these chaffs or husk of the paddy, these are also the food for the animals, or it is an animal food also, animal fodder. Okay. Now, this can be also mechanically done. Thresher or threshing machine is there. Nowadays, many people do this process mechanically by using a thresher machine or motorized machine. It is known as thresher. After the threshing process is done, what happens over there? It is found out that many times, or like it's always, what happens? The chaff and the leaves or the pieces of leaves get mixed with the grain. So they get mixed with the grain. So now it is not possible to take these grains along with the chaff and pieces of these leaves or the pieces of the stem of the plant. So what that has to be done? These has to be removed because they are impurities. We studied in class 6 also about this. The process by which these things are removed is known as winnowing. Now you people remember what was winnowing? The winnowing was a process, or is a process by which the lighter or the smaller particles are removed from the larger particle. Now let us just recall what is winnowing and how we've studied, and what is this winnowing is all about. How the winnowings are done? Normally that has to be done on a place which is a bit windy. The wind normally passes from one place to another, like it's a windy place where the winds are blowing, or the breeze are there where the breezes are blowing. Now how it is done? Normally the grains are heavier and the chaff and the pieces of leaves and all, these are lighter. Now what happens? How do they do that? The people who are doing that, they stand on a place which is a bit higher altitude, and they stand over there. And what do? They start pouring these grains along with this all impurities which are there. Along with that, they start pouring it. When they start pouring these things, the heavier grain falls down directly where they are pouring them, and the lighter husk and the other impurities, they fly away to a distant place. These because of the wind's flow, they are flown away, and by doing so, the husk and the other impurities are removed. This nowadays actually what happens? This is a traditional technique. By after that can be collected and they can be stored. But nowadays there are some modern technologies which are used in many fields. A machine that is known as combine machine, that is used for doing these kind of activities. Now what is this combine machine is? It's why it is called combine machine? Because it's a combination of harvester, where it does the harvesting, threshes, and also it takes out the husk and other parts of the paddy plant or whatever the plant or crop you are growing. These all things it does, or like normally it is done for the paddy and wheat. So after this is done actually mainly paddy only, because wheat only, because paddy fields are normally a bit damp and the soil is loose. So that is why the vehicle cannot go over there. So paddies are normally harvested. Normally they are harvested with this like sickle. There are some machines also, but the combine machine can do the harvesting. They can cut the crops. After that, they can do the threshing and they can clean the crops as well. So after the whole process is done, that grains can be directly stored. But there are some demerits of this combine machine. Okay, now what are these demerits? When the combine machine does the harvesting, it cuts the plant on the top, just on where the stalks of the paddy or the stalks of the wheat are hanging, just a bit lower to that they cut. So by doing so, what happens? They leave the most amount of, or the maximum length of the paddy plant or the plant that they are doing. Okay, now what is the harm over there? This part, that long one, that whole plant is also an animal fodder. It is known as hay. People put these on their roofs as well. Nowadays it is hardly found, but still these are actually animal fodder. In the you people also might have seen in villages where they keep cattle and all. In when it is raining in the rainy season, they give these hays to the cows and other domestic animals to eat, like horses, cows and all. They give them to eat. So it's an animal food. Now when the combine does the harvesting, so it cuts it at the upper part. So the maximum parts are left behind. So because of that, they miss out on this hay. Okay. So this is the demerit, we can say, of the combine machine. Now after, one more disadvantage we can say of these machines. So after they do the harvesting, the maximum parts are left out in many areas. In many areas, what do the farmers do? After that, they burn these left out plants which are after harvesting whatever is left out, that leftover ones they burn. Okay, now you people have heard about the pollution in our capital, that is New Delhi. So many of you have heard that Delhi is one of the most polluted, cities in the world. The pollution level of Delhi is very, very high. Many of you might have heard that in the winter the pollution is that high that it is not possible or even it is not advisable to go out of the houses. Why does it happen to Delhi? The reason, many experts say that the surrounding area to the city New Delhi, like the Uttar Pradesh and that part Haryana and Punjab, they do many there are crop fields and farmers are there. So they do their harvesting in the winter season. After the harvesting is done, they burn these things, these leftover things they burn, and because of burning this, it creates a pollution in the air. It creates pollution in the air, and that is why the capital of our country gets suffocated. Its air quality becomes very, very dangerous, and that is why it is harmful. So it is one of the demerits. Secondly, while doing like farmers, what do? The crops they burn. Sorry, not the crops, the field on which they have harvested. After the cutting down of their harvest, what do? They burn the remaining parts. While doing so, this fire can reach out to their paddy or wheat, whatever they have kept on the side, that may get the fire, and because of that there might be an economic loss. So that is why it is not advisable to burn these things. Rather than that, there are some other things that can be done, like in many of the countries like Japan and all. They, what do? After the harvesting is done, they again cut these things and make into rolls, and they use it for animal food, and they use it for the other purposes as well. So these are the things that can be utilized, that can be understood, and we can make the surroundings better. So this is the thing all about the harvesting. The next thing that we are going to discuss is the storage of the grains, or the storage of the harvest that the farmers have done. We will discuss about the next topic, that is the storage of the grains.